Hello everybody, welcome to launch day. I hope you've had a fantastic Friday day time. Whatever you've been doing, I hope you've enjoyed it. And you're here with us today for the final show of the day. A final show with myself and Craig. I've had a lovely time with Craig today. It's been great. I've learned lots going on in the studio anyway. And I think Craig's learned a little bit about sewing. I don't know if you happened to watch the earlier show, but you did. If you didn't, Craig and I worked on a project together. Craig sewed amazingly using the sewing machine to sew around a heart, which is quite a difficult one to do. I like the fact that I chose one of the hardest projects ever, and you just delivered it, Craig. Amazing.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried very hard. I was really pleased with the result.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed doing that. It was a lot of fun. So it's going to be interesting because, of course, we will do demo of the day later on.
Yeah.
So you'll be demo of the show for Wake Up Call.
Yeah.
And then it's joint demo of the show for Softer Side Alive. And then, of course, within this launch day show, we're going to have a demo of the day from, or demo of the show from me. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I hope we'll have the joint win. That's for sure. But yeah, what an epic launch. Create a card dies. You don't need to say any more to me. I absolutely love my Create a Card dies. But these ones here, these are our panel dies. Now, if you remember the concept of our Duo 3D embossing folders, where you had two in a pack and they complemented each other, or of course you could use them separate, that idea, but when it comes to your Create a Card dies. Now, here's a couple that Becky done herself in Wake Up Call this morning. So always go back and watch Becky this morning, because she did do paper crafts and she made that beautiful card. She also made that beautiful one as well, so turned it into a triptych card. So we've gone from one panel to 3 panels, but then you can start to do all your fun concepts as well. So because they're lovely little panel dies, you've then got the ability to cut in or cut out, because that's exactly what they do, because they are the Create a Card dies. Not only that, we've got so many embossing details within the dies as well. So I would highly recommend embossing them like I will show you. You don't need to. There'll be a demonstration that we'll do where you don't need to emboss them, but you've got that option. So there's one of them. We'll be using this one within the next demonstration, or the second demonstration. And this is the concept, Becky, side by side.
Yeah.
There's 2 designs in each pack, and they're both different, but they complement each other and pull each other together. But then you can use them separately if you want to. You can start to do all your bridge, your insert, your acetate cards as well. That one, that's using the same die from the set that it's from, so you've got that option. And again, this is giving you a window effect here with acetate. So you can ink over the top, you can colour them in if you want to. What about tags? Something really, really simple. Going in the tags, or maybe you want to go in and do your little treat boxes, maybe you want to do your gift boxes, and then you've got that option again, cutting in and cutting out. And then what about even this one as well? So if I open this one up, it's just another lovely little gift box. And then that side there, you could have one of the designs. On the other side, you could have the other one. Or you could take one design from one collection, use a design from the other one. So much fun. So many different ways. We'll definitely get 4 demos, all going well, 5 demos. And we're starting simple, and then we're starting to build up the different techniques that you can do.
Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing those. They are a beautiful set of dies. You've got 4 different dies in there, but each one comes with the outer die, so you can cut the panel out, and you also get you get 2 of those, and you get 2 different actual panels. So as Craig was saying, they complement each other. So one of them may have more foliage, or almost like sort of a bud kind of effect, and the other one has the full blooms. So you have rose, hellebores, gerbera, and foxglove. I remembered. And you'll also get the sets of pens to go with them. And I love it when we do a bundle like this, but when we actually sort of add something, not just to the dies, but not, we're giving you something extra. So you can really get started and be inspired by the demos that you're going to see today, and by the amazing samples that we've got from the design team. And you get them home. And even if you've never bought from us before, you can get these home and you can start creating something, because you've got a set of pens that are going to work totally well with all of those. The price for this Incredible price, £59.98 or $79.98. It's a platinum price of £47.98 or $63.98. It's a really good saving. So it's a 30% saving you're getting on this, which is always great when we've got a brand new launch as well. So you're basically getting 2 of these tricolours for free in that deal. So that is really great. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Craig's going to make. Lots of people are saying hello. Lisa says, good morning, good afternoon, all from Minnesota. I've got to read it off my phone because the iPad's not working. Georgianne says, hi Craig and Becky from Clearwater, Florida. Do you know what? I always think of Clearwater, I always think of alligators. Am I right in thinking
yeah. Alligators.
Rhonda says, hello Becky, Craig, and absolutely everyone from Oak Park near Chicago. I always think of that James Bond film where, was it Live and Let Die? Were they
I've only
alligators?
seen a couple.
Got people singing in my ear. I'm sure it's the alligators. Alligators and crocodiles have got different noses. Who doesn't love a Bond film? I love a Bond film. Actually, if you could be in any kind of film, what film would it be? Come back to you in a minute. I'll answer that question. Have a think. If you could be in any kind of film, what film would it be? I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy with my son, and it made me think, I want to become an actress.
Yeah?
I think I could become an action hero.
Oh, you could.
Yeah,
You look just like Angelina Jolie.
I am quite old, and I'd be boom, boom, boom. But I think I'd love to do a film like that. Anyway, Sandra says, hi Becky, Craig, CTV crew, crafty friends and family. Cindy says, hi everyone from the lakes of Ozarks, Missouri. Zoe Carver says, good evening everyone from West Sussex. Coletta, hello from Arkansas. Stephanie says, hello Becky, Craig, CCTV CCTV team. And crafty friends from Farmingdale, New Jersey. I'm going to go and put my teeth back in. Yeah, so we've got a lot of people in the gallery today. There's a lot of voices in my head, and I don't know if they're real or no, just voices that I generally
just hear them.
Can you hear the same voices?
No, I can't.
I can hear a little pixie say, go on, You don't have that.
You've had too much cream.
Obviously you have.
Good one.
Corinne says, aloha from Good Morning from Maori. Mary Reno says, hello from hot and sunny Maine, everyone. Sue Benson, it says it's very rainy in Montana, but the sound of the rain is soothing.
It is, Susan.
You always have that in those sleep songs that you listen to, don't you? There's like pitter-patter of rain.
That's it.
Do let us know what you're getting up to. If you've got any questions, Softcraft, or actually, if Softcraft, just ask Craig, because Craig can do it all. Craig will be doing the Softcraft shows while I'm on holiday in July. That's what I reckon. That's what I'm going to suggest to Jenny when I'm yeah, I'm going to suggest that. Okay. But any questions you happen to have, do message in and let us know. Let us know what if you could be in a film. What kind of film would it be?
There you go.
Yeah, and I'm going to let everyone else here think about what they would be, and then they'll come back to you.
Good one.
I reckon you're going to go for a ghosty film.
You might be right.
Wee ghosty.
Yeah, you might be right a lot. Just to say, those finished samples I've showed, we've got that many that I only actually showed you half of them. What we will do is we'll show you the other half later on as well. But let's dive in, and then let's do something very simple, just using one of the dies here. So we're going to use the foxglove. We are going to create, actually, let's do our background first, because we'll just need to leave it for a few minutes to dry. So I've got a piece of our watercolour cardstock.
Yep.
And I'm going in with our parakeet. Now, of course, you could use the tri-colours. At the time of prepping these, we didn't have the showstopper. I don't think they decided on the showstopper at that point. Okay. So that's why I'm using our water reactives and not using the tri-colours, although you could do exactly what I'm doing just by picking whatever tri-colours you want. So I've gone with parakeet, I've gone with fuchsia, and then I've gone with crushed velvet. I've put a little bit of noir black there just to finish off at the end.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along, and in actual fact, let's bring it, I should have done it more within the centre of our glass mat. So let's go in here. Now, for my background, I'm just wanting these three colours. I don't want the black one just now. So we can then go in. I'm just going to go in with my paintbrush and water, dab some of that one off, and then just taking some of that ink off, blend into here.
Okay.
Take that off, blend into here as well, and then just take the... Oh, I thought this was Colour Me Happy. No?
No, it's,
wrong
it's Colour Me Glass Mat.
Colour Me Glass Mat.
Glass.
Glass. It's glass, darling. It's glass. And then I'm going to go in, and then I'm just going to pick that up.
Nice.
Let's go in again here, and then let's go in, and then let's go in a little bit of that fuchsia.
So you would need to, you need to use watercolour paper for that, or card.
Yes.
If you didn't have that, would multi-purpose work or not really?
Do you know something, Becky? It would work. It would work. However, what will start to happen, or what you need to make sure is you're not absolutely, you can, in some ways, you can saturate watercolour cardstock. You can't with your multi-purpose. It's just going to break down the fibres really, really quickly, and then over a short amount of time, it's going to then come to a little bit of that, you know, that kind of pulpy sort of effect. So if you do what I've done there, use a little bit less water. You could do it on your multi-purpose, but you know there is an absolute reason that we do always say anything water-based. If you do it with your multi-purpose, it's a teeny little bit of water or that, then you can get away with it. You might even want to try it on the multi-purpose. Do you know what I mean? Because you will, as long as it's not fully saturated, you're still going to get a lovely effect. You're just not going to get that texture of your white multi-purpose or your white watercolour. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to give it a helping hand to start with. So I've got that lovely marbled effect that we've got going on. And then what I'm then going to do is let's go in, and then I'm just going to, I want little black, but to get little black I really want to saturate my paintbrush with water, so that what I can do is I can get a strong black when I come in and do it that way. So if I really saturated that black, like I did a moment ago, I'm really going to water that down, and that's going to become so light and grey. So to keep that strong black, I want little water, but I needed quite a lot of black to be quite intense. So I'm just going to flick and then leave it like that. So I'm just going to leave that to do its thing when it comes to drying, because that won't take long. And then I can set that to the side. And then let's go in with a piece of our black multi-purpose. You could use your black Centura Pearl if you want, or a navy, or a dark grey. But I like, it's like you were saying earlier on, well this morning, Becky, I like how it gives you that silhouette effect as well.
Yeah, I think that looks really nice.
And that's what I'm going for. So I'm using the foxglove, but I'm not going to go in with the one that's got the flower. I'm just going to go in with kind of like all the stems and the leaves. So what I'm going to do is, if I pop that one onto here, irrelevant of what size the cardstock is, if you pop the die, decorative die, straight onto your card, that will cut in. So the design will be left in. Whereas if you use this, what I'm going to do here, that's then going to release it from your cardstock. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line them up together, and then I'm going to tape them ones in. I'm going to go in towards the top, and then even although we're using our G2, it's still the same plain plate configuration, as in base plate, your frosted magnetic, and then of course your top plate. So we're going to let that do its thing. We could still pause and reverse it if we wanted to. If you've got your junior plates, you could use them of course. But what I also want to do is, because you've got embossed detail in these, I'm going to go in with my embossing mat, which is here. Now this is how I remember to emboss them. So if I take mine off, so if I lift that off there, I've now cut into my plate. So without getting myself all muddled up, what I do is I flip it over, and then I put my rubber embossing mat in. So essentially you're cutting into your mat. It's magic material. You're not going to damage it as long as you take out your magnetic shim.
Okay.
Don't ever have the magnetic shim and embossing mat together. There's not a technique where you have them together.
Right. What would happen if you did that?
You would, as I always say, you would annihilate your embossing mat. You will stretch it to literal smithereens.
Really?
The whole thought will stretch, and you'll just split it all the way down. So there's not a technique or a way where you have them both together. It's either one or the other. But I know some people say, I can't remember, do you have the embossing mat on the top? Is it as if you're cutting into it? But then you think, well, I shouldn't be cutting into the mat, it's going to damage it.
Yeah.
It won't, it's just going to emboss it. You just need to make sure that you take out your magnetic shim.
Okay.
And then once you've done that, all that we're going to go and do is run that one through. That's then going to do the emboss. So where we've got the embossed detail within that die, that's then going to push all the way up. And unlike what you done earlier where we went over with gilding wax, I'm just going to keep it completely black.
Okay.
Because I want to have that colour just popping through from that background that we've done. So if I then take this one off here, take that one off, and then, oh, my die's jumped up. Oh no, it's jumped up. So
What do you mean it's jumped up?
It's jumped up.
Is that because you didn't tape it to the plate?
Well, not necessarily, no, because, well, no, because it's never happened before. So, and I never tape to my plate.
I don't think anyone, none of the craft experts do. It's just me. Does someone else do that?
Someone else?
Well, I don't think I've ever seen anyone else, because it was somebody mentioned it before, and I think, oh, I don't know why I do it. I've got no idea. And I didn't used to, when I worked for other companies, I didn't use low tack tape, didn't use any tape at all. But then I would use my magnetic shim at the base, upside. I didn't do everything upside down.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so
doing it that way.
Yeah, so everyone finds what works for them, don't they?
Of course they do. Absolutely.
It's just however it happens to be. I've had a few people messaging in about what films they'd like to be in.
Go for it, because I'm just going to recut and emboss this.
So Phil Watson says he'd like to be in a spoof comedy like Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
Rhonda says, I would have loved to have been in the film Lady Hawk. Now, is that the one about archery? Let me know. Brenda says, for me, The Big Chill, then Ghost Story, a classic with Fred Astaire, and The Ghost of Mrs. Muir, plus The Way We Were. You want to be in a lot of films. Has anyone in the gallery decided what kind of film they'd like to be in?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Horror.
Yeah, so horror.
Horror.
What, like a slasher kind of movie?
Gore-fest horror.
Oh, really?
Absolute gore-fest.
With a bit of comedy thrown in?
Oh, no. I like comedy horrors, but no, if I was to be in one, I don't want to be the horror guy, and as long as I actually survive, I'm happy. It's like I would love to go through a tornado.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw that, and bear with me a minute, I would like to experience one. And when I say that, respectfully, I'm saying it because I know you guys stateside, you get some horrendous ones, and I know that, but I would like to experience it, just to see.
So would you say Twister is a horror film?
No.
Like Twister would be a bit of both, wouldn't it? A bit of, it is horror in the way that, devastates the land, but you go through a tornado. Mm-hmm. So would that be your ideal film to be in?
No, well, no, because to be in, I would want it to be a real gore-fest horror.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of went off in a different lane on that one when I was saying with tornado. I would like to experience one, but no, I would do a horror.
Horror. Anyone in the gallery? What would it be your film to be in? Come on, work and think at the same time. Come on. George is going for a period drama.
Period drama.
George, I did not expect you to say that at all. Lady Chatterley's Lover, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah. Could you imagine George in Downton?
George wants a sword.
He wants a sword.
I could imagine him in Downton, actually.
Could you?
Yeah. Donna says, if I could be in a film, it would be the new release of Avatar. Sue Benson said, it's screwball comedy, Cary Grant and Irene Dunn. Rhonda says, Lady Hawk was Rutger Hauer and Melanie Griffiths. She was a hawk by day and he was a wolf by night because of a curse by a priest. That's quite weird. I'd heard the name, but it didn't make me remember what it was. Susie says she can absolutely see George in Downton. So Nicola would like to be on horseback, so she'd go for a Regency drama, and I happen to know that Nicola has watched all of Bridgerton recently and become quite obsessive about Lady Whistledown's. We're going to start something here, Lady Whistledown kind of scandal sheet, but we're going to have to make it all up because we don't know any secrets. No, we don't know
any scandals.
Are there any scandals here? I mean, if there are, they're being kept very, very quiet.
There's bound to be some scandals.
There must be. If not, we'll just make them up.
Got to be, eh? Now, that was the background that I done. Now, I'm using the one I've already done only because I've already stamped out my sentiment.
Okay.
That one there, may all your dreams come true. And that's just from the Everyday Verse Compendium that I've done. So that that can go home with me and I can use it another time. So what I'm going to do, before I put my panel on, I'm now going to put this one onto my 6x6 card blank, and I'm doing it as a tentfold because I do like my tentfold cards. So I'm going to put that one onto there, and then I've popped my sentiment down at the bottom right hand corner because I'm going to pop that onto here, but I'm letting that colour shine through. So what I can then do is I'm going to go in with my dotty tape runner. Now, my choices always are tacky glue with fine applicator, and I have it here, but because I really want to at least get through the 4 demos at least.
You want to break the world record of how many demos you could do?
No, that's definitely no way, because that's about 8 with Sarah. There's no way I would do that.
There's no world record. I googled it. There's no world record, but I think Sarah would win it anyway, wouldn't she?
Oh,
but
yes.
maybe that should be something that we do in the future, an official, you know, get an adjudicator here and see how many we can do in an hour's show.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. That one is really good.
And then you and I can coerce him into watching us eat Smarties.
Yeah, that is good.
There were so many crazy world records that you can do. I mean, you know, there's all sorts of different things. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what we get on next shows.
See what ones come up.
Yeah.
You know, week after week. At least we know when Nicola's on, then that's sort of thing
it's going to be a fun Friday.
We'll be doing. And what's good as well is because it's going to mix us all up, you know, because we're not always in on a Friday. No. It's going to be someone different each time. So then you're going to have everyone that's going to be doing different little challenges. But that's going in lovely. There, Becky, just keeping it very, very simple. That could be pattern paper, or of course, create your own background. It's from the foxglove, just the one panel, not them both. You could have done 2 side by side. You could have cut in. Keeping it simple to start with. Such a quick but effective card to make.
I think that's beautiful. I love those clean lines in that. That looks really, really nice. And achievable for somebody that perhaps hasn't got loads of experience making cards, because obviously we get new viewers all the time, and it's nice to be able to see something that you think, oh, actually I can manage that with a minimum of product. I'll be able to create something like that. I really like that. Very good. So this is our floral panel creator dies, and this is our showstopper deal that you've got here. So you've got 4 different sets of dies. Each one of those actually has 4 dies in it. So you've got 2 panel dies that are complement each other, and then you've got that outer cutting die on there. So you've got the foxglove, the hellebores, the rose, and the gerbera, and you'll also be getting the sets of tricolours here. So these are 4 different sets that we've chosen that work with those designs that you've got there. So you've got sort of like the deep purples that will work really well with those foxglove, for example. Great price on this. You're saving 30% on here, £59.98, $79.98, or your platinum price is £47.98 or $63.98. I think these are beautiful, and they're going to work so well in so many different ways, as you saw with those samples that Craig showed you earlier. Some other deals that we do have that may be useful for you. This is your heat resistant acetate. It's by two and get one for free. These are 3 packs altogether, 36 sheets in total, £7.98 or $11.98. Platinum price is only £6.38 or $9.58, a really good price. The next item, just in case you were inspired by Craig and you wanted to have a go with your colours and using watercolour card, buy 2, get 1 for free again, £9.98, $13.98, or your platinum price is £7.98 or $11.18. Of course, you're going to always need tape pens. So you buy 3 and you get 1 for free. We always need tape pens all the time because we go through them so quickly. £11.97 or $20.97. Your platinum price is £9.58 or $16.78. And then finally, we've got some Floral glue for you. This is your all-purpose. You buy 2 and you get 1 for free. £7.98, $15.90. Platinum price is £6.38 or $12.72. We're giving you the opportunity, aren't we, here to stock up on all of those consumables, all of those items that we get through really quickly, and you think actually it's worth popping them in my basket when they're on a special deal, because you inevitably you're going to run out of those things and you're going to go to get them and there won't be a deal going. So it's always best to see if we've got a particular deal available for you. Keep those messages coming in and letting me know what shows you'd like to be in, what films you'd like to be on. Susie said, I'd like to be in a Bond film. But I want to be do I want to be a Bond girl? I don't know if I do want to be a Bond girl. I don't really like men telling me what to do. But if I was a Bond girl, I'd like to be the Bond girl that was still alive at the end, because one always dies. I want to be the one that's alive at the end. Or horror might be quite good. Horror. Yeah, I think so. Michelle, that's for you, says, I love the background of that card that you've just made. I think it really is lovely, and those colours work really well with all the black and the white.
Thank you.
Hannah Golding-Smith says, I would never have thought of doing a card like that, and I absolutely love it. Loads of people really liking that card. Stephen says, I'd love to be in a Michael Jackson Thriller video just so I could be a zombie. Okay. That would be quite good. And Mary Reno says Blythe Spirit or Harry Potter movie. I did Blythe Spirit at school. I love that film. Have you watched the remake of it with? What
one's that?
Blythe Spirit. It's an Noel Coward book. It's about a woman, and she dies and she starts haunting the new wife. No. But it's quite entertaining. And the more recent remake was made in this incredible house in Surrey, which is completely circular. It's really impressive. Maeve says, I wanted to be in NCIS, however, when I wanted to be when I was in my 20s. That would be quite good to be in as well. That kind of sort of horror thriller, like a Silence of the Lambs kind of film, rather than a slasher film. Yeah. So yes, good. Right, we're going to get on with some more demos to see what Craig's going to be making us.
Well, indeed. Right, this time we're going to have a look at the Gerbera. Now, what I've got is I've got my card blank here. Now, I've got it at 5.5 by 5.5, and I've also done a tenfold. So what I've got here is I've got two little lines. They are just pencil lines here, and then what I've done, so that is actually 2.5 inches in diameter, width. What I'm then going to do is I'm just going to use my ruler here, so let's turn it that way, and then I'm just going to continue that line up. So we're just going to go right up to the top of my card, and then I'm going to do the same again into here. So then what I'm going to do is, let's go in with our V-blade trimmer. And then there we've got the front going on here. So I want to cut that bit out and cut that bit out. So I'm just going to bring that in, and I'm going to start my line, pencil line, up to the top and bring it down. You can actually, you maybe have gathered that I didn't even need to put my pencil line in there, as long as I've got my little pencil knot at the top, and then my V-blade is just going to cut straight down anyway. So let's go into the next one, and I'm only coming up as far as to the fold of my card. Okay. So we can then go up, and then what we can then do is then come in with our scissors, and then we're going to go in, and then what we can do is where we've got these two bits here, we want to chop them off. So what we're going to do,
they're like legs, aren't they?
Like legs, aren't they? Yeah, so they're like legs. So we're going to use that other one as well. We're going to use that one. Oh. Yeah, Dean, that was a little signal to Nicola to say, is that what she was talking about? You caught me on that one. Right, so what Nicola was saying to me, you guys didn't need to know it, she was just saying in my ear, she's got a V blade trimmer, and she's got that one, but she finds it just a little bit difficult to understand with the measurements and where to cut. So what we can do is maybe within the middle of this hour, Nicola, we could have a wee look around it. And if anyone else at home is having that little issue, then we will talk you through it. So we'll do that. I'll keep it out, and then we'll come back to it. So I've got my centre panel now here ready to go. So before we do any decoration with that one, let's go in with a piece of our white multi-purpose.
Okay.
Now once again with this one, Becky, I'm just going to use the one die, but this time I'm going to use the floral side. I want to use the one that's got the Gerberas in here, but I'm going to colour them so they kind of look like a sunflower.
Oh, that's a clever idea.
So
actually, and I suppose they can be used like daisies as well, can't they? 'Cause
yeah.
They're quite versatile.
Yeah, they are. They really, really are. And you can make them look like your your daisies, just with a couple of colours. You don't have to do much at all to get that look. So what we can then do is we can do frosted, we can do magnetic, and then we can then do our top plate, and then we're just going to run that one through. Not going to emboss it this time, you can do, but then what you'll have seen with Becky earlier on is you still get that emboss anyway, and it's nice having that option. Because of the power of the Gemini, you'll get a subtle emboss just with the die cut pass, but then if you want to really intensify that emboss, you come in then with the embossing mat. So you've got that kind of two options. So what we can then do is then if we take that one off, and just take that off, and then take that off, we're just going to take that out. And then what we can do, I'm not sure if we can kind of catch the embossed detail. And then I'm going to go in with a tri-blend. So I'm going to go in with the gold yellow. I'm going to go in with the dull green. That's going to be for the leaves. Now I couldn't find my kind of like my blue grey and tri-blend. So I'm going to go in with the blue grey 2 from the Classiques. And I've even brought in my illustrator Get the right one, Craig. I've even gone in with our blender pen from the Classiques. So let's go in with the centre of these ones first, and then the centre of both of these, I'm just going to colour like I would, or you would do usually, with your tri-blend pens, and do a little bit of blending.
Okay.
So lightest tone. So I'm just going to lay that lightest tone. You'll see with the emboss, you've got the little centre dots. You've got that embossed detail. So I'm just kind of following that all the way around, laying down my light tone. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to have it so that darker tone, that sunshine, that lightness is going to then come into here. I'm then going to go in with that mid-tone and then blend that one out, like so of that. And then I'm going to come in again, back with that light tone, and then just blend that one out into here. So we are getting that kind of effect, that circular 3D effect.
So 3D.
It does, doesn't it? And it's
really
and it's a really simple form to get that roundness when it comes to the circle. And then I'm just going to do the same with this one, Becky. Colour it in.
What are you going round in?
Sorry?
What are you going round in?
Circles.
I don't really say circles. Are you going to put some pearls on that as well?
Circle. You could put pearls in there if you want to. You can do. If you've got maybe a little squirrel die, you could have a little squirrel there.
I want Craig to read me stories. I think you should.
Bedtime stories.
Yeah.
Bedtime stories.
It only takes me less than 30 seconds to fall asleep, so...
Does it?
Yeah, it's possibly not a bedtime story. But a story when I'm driving, that would be great. I'll hand you my favourite book and you can read it for me.
What's your favourite book?
Travels with My Aunt. by Graham Greene.
What one, sorry?
Travels with My Aunt by Graham Greene.
Travels with My Aunt.
My favourite film. Favourite book.
Uh-huh.
The film's got Maggie Smith in it, and she plays...
Oh, Maggie Smith.
Well, I do love Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, but the original, not the remake. I don't think the remake is as good. It is one of my favourites. But they're all sort of the same kind of era. They're sort of all in the 1950s. But Graham Greene, I think, was a great writer. But yeah, definitely Travels with My Aunt. That's why I want to go on the Orient Express, because they go on the Orient Express on that trip.
Okay.
And I've been since told by my husband, you've got to be joking. These are the words he said to me, you're absolutely mad. We're never going to be able to afford that. Stop dreaming. I'll take you to Windsor on the train instead, and I'll bring you a picnic, and that'll be the same. It's not the same thing at all.
Thing, is it?
No, it's not. But I suppose if I had some champagne, it might be the same. I have a question.
Go for it.
Question. Tracy says, can I ask why you put the frosted plate underneath the magnetic plate? Shouldn't the magnetic plate and the frosted plate, shouldn't it be the magnetic plate and the frosted plate to hold the dies in place? So we don't tend to do it that way, do we?
So I see what you mean, yeah. So the way that you're was that Tracy?
Yeah.
So the way that you're saying, Tracy, that's kind of, when die cutting machines first came out, that's what everyone used to do, because essentially that magnetic shim is there to hold the die into place so it doesn't move. However, what I am going to do, let's visually show you this here. The reason many of us do it the other way around is if we have it that, and then what you're talking about is if you then pop your die on here, so your magnetic shim, that's keeping your die in place. But say I've got, where's my spare one? Right, so let's just, this is my spare one. So let's chop that on. I want to put that there. I don't know where centre. I can't see where the centre is unless I start to use the measurement guides, which I never use on the Gemini mats. No. I always do the way that I'm away to show you, and many people do. You can't see where you're cutting. So what I do, and what so many of us do nowadays, is we do it the other way around. So we put the die where we want it, and then put it down so it's cutting into your plate. Then we'll do your magnetic, then you will do, your frosted magnetic, and then your top plate. That's why you'll see me and so many of us do it that way. So the way that you've said it is, that's what kind of used to do years ago. Many people still do it. It's technically, I suppose it's still the right way, but we kind of change it nowadays so that we can actually see where we're cutting into.
I suppose in a way, we don't really need the shim to be magnetic, really.
No, you don't.
We use it for the space that it takes up, but we don't really need its magnetic
no, you're right.
do we, anymore?
Yeah.
But I suppose, like you say, other people, if they're more comfortable using it that way, they can do.
Exactly. But a really good question.
Yeah. If you've got any other questions, do let us know. Don't think if there's a question you think, I'm not going to ask it, it sounds really silly. It won't be. We all have to start somewhere, and sometimes, you might hear people saying something and you think, I don't even know what that was. I remember watching a show a long time ago, and people were talking about matty layers. And I'm thinking, what are matty layers? And it was just where someone was saying matten layers.
Yeah,
but it was matty layers. And I'm thinking,
matty
is
layers.
that a brand? I didn't really know. So, no stupid questions, just keep them coming. Let us know what you are thinking about, and ask Craig any questions you happen to have, whether it's about craft or not.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, you may have noticed I've jumped to my tricolour pen, my ice grey 2, and that is because the blue grey that I was using, it's run out of ink.
Oh, but that seems to happen a lot, because that's our favourite colour, isn't it? We use it for everything.
It is.
I always think if they're on special offer, that's the time to stock up on that particular pen.
Definitely. So what I've done is I've just jumped to my ice grey 2 instead, but I'm still doing what I was originally going to do. And then what I have done is I've only just come out maybe about 1/4 of an inch, just over that with the ice grey 2. And then I've used my blender pen just to blend it out. So you're softening it up. And then what I can do is if I then go in with my dull green tri-blend, and I'm going to go in, so there is my leaf. So I'm going to go in with that light tone first. So I'm just going to colour the leaf, and then I'm just going to go over, give it a nice fill in with that light tone. And then what I'm going to do with this one is you might want the light source to the base of the leaf, or maybe from the side. I'm going to have it so it's travelling down the centre. So just do a little line with the dark tone, and then I've gone in with that mid-tone. I'm going right over it and blending that out, and then I'm going to go back in with that light tone, and then we can then blend that out here, and then just carry on and just blend the rest of that one out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a look, kind of like the main stem of it is here. So I'm just going to colour that one and connect that leaf. So I'm just connecting the leaf to the flower. And then I'm going to come down here. And I already know my sentiment when it comes onto my card is going to come over this part here. So I'm not really going to bother or worry about colouring in that little leaf. I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to do exactly what I've done there. But if you were wanting to use maybe your aqua pens or that, Becky, then you can do exactly what I'm doing, but also this is where your watercolour card would come in.
Yeah.
And it would look lovely if you do any of the blends with your aqua pens, or, you know, your glitter pens, or that would look lovely. And that's what's fun about it, just playing and see what you're enjoying, see what you like using, and even the different looks that you get. And then just repeating that process, so light line down that vein of the leaf, blend that one out, and then I'm going to come in with this one again, which is the light tone, blend that one out. This is the dull green tri-blend, and then that is pretty much all the colouring that I'm going to do with that one.
Okay.
So I can come in now. I've got my foam pad strips. So these new foam pad strips, these come in the small foam pad bundle, if you're wondering where I got them. So they come in from that selection. You also get circle ones in that one too. And what's lovely is the actual width. If you use both dies together, the actual width of the decorative die and that frame die, it's that perfect width for these thinner strips.
Okay.
There's 2 different thicknesses of the foam strips, and these are perfect. And it looks as though I'm going to turn this into a shaker. I'm not. I just want to have that stability around the edge. And then what I'll even do is I'll put some, just put that little bit there. And then I could be using some of the like square foam pads that are the same depth, but I'll just put that in to here and then here. So then that is mine all coloured, and we're good to go. So if I bring in my, what have I done with my base, which is here. So because I've used the daisies, I've gone in with some of the daisy paper that you can see.
Lovely.
And I've cut that one to 5.5 by 5.5, and I've given myself a really, really thin white border. That would work really, really well straight onto your craft card. But because I've got white within my die cut layer, and there's some white within the base here, it just picks it out, and it kind of frames it, and it kind of just finishes it off that little bit more. So as I say, you don't have to do that. You can go straight onto your craft, but I do think that your little white matting layer just makes it look that little bit more, even that little bit more elegant, if you think. So that one can then go onto my base. So if I bring that one in, that can go into here. Pop that one into there. And then onto this bit, what I've done is exactly the same here. Another piece of the paper from the daisy, but it's the reverse, so it doesn't have the pattern on there. And that was 2 inches by 5. So the pattern paper was 2 inches by 5, and then it's just a little white border. Pop that one onto my craft card. That one can then go flat onto that panel. And then if your card blank, if it was longer, Becky, you could do like kind of 2 panels and then have them both together, or do 3 if you wanted to, you know, bring 2 of these and then, you know, one from another, or you could do 1, then that one, and then another flower one. So there's lots and lots of different options that you've got. But now all that I'm just going to do, Becky, is just finish this off by sticking it all together.
By peeling off the back of your foam pads much more easily than I managed to do it earlier.
Practice. And because I do it so much.
Yeah, I need to spend more time at home peeling
that could be a new world record.
How many? Oh yes, that could be.
Couldn't it? Yeah. They're going to be even, aren't they? Yeah, because you use chopsticks a lot, unlike me.
I don't use them blindfolded though.
Well, that's true, but yeah, you've still done a really good job.
Obviously, I miss my calling. When I was young and people would say, what do you want to do as a career? I should have said, professional chopstick user.
Chopstick user, yeah.
Yeah.
I can be a professional foam pad back picker.
Yes, exactly. You know, we've got to play to our strengths. No, Nicola, I can't play chopsticks on the piano. I can't read music, actually.
You can't play or you can't read?
I can't read. I can play the cello, but I can't read music. So I have to learn by ear. Well, I say have to learn. I haven't picked up a cello since I was about 16. I don't think I even know how to begin playing. It's been such a long time. And people say, oh, it's like riding a bike. Well, I can't ride one of those either. I'm not playing the cello on Fun Friday. I'm saying that all I can play is the 1812 overture. That's it. I can't play anymore. Debbie Robinson plays the trumpet. Johnny plays the trumpet. And doesn't John play the guitar or the bass?
I think he does. Yeah.
And
does Liam play the trumpet? We've
got
Liam's in tonight.
Yeah, do you have a trumpet, Liam? I know Ben plays the piano and the violin. Why is there not a Crafters Companion orchestra? And it's going to be very brass heavy.
Our boss Jenny, she sings. Yeah, Debbie Robinson sings.
And I think Jenny also plays the guitar.
Yes, she plays piano as well, I think. Yeah.
I've always wanted to be able to read music, but I just can't. Oh, that's beautiful, Craig. Oh, I love that.
So we've got a lovely little card. Now you can, of course, write onto the back, or you could then put a little white panel in the middle there for you to write on. So you've still got options, or even on the back of that one. But then you can come in with your glitters, you can come in with your glossy highlights. You've got all the different options to add your embellishments. Maybe you want to even add a little bit of spritz that
Michelle's covered in.
Michelle's covered in, and Corinne will be showing you over the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, that's really beautiful. I love that. Betsy says, I love your card, Craig. Stephanie says, love the daisy. It's one of my favourites. So pretty, Craig. They would make a really good shaker card, those panels. Yeah, everyone really liking it. Good evening, Lynn. Tracy says, thank you for answering that question. So that is really looking lovely. So these are all of our floral panel dies. So this is the showstopper that we've got. Today. So you've got 4 different designs. You've got your rose, helleborus, foxglove and Gerbera. Each of those are 2 different panels, and you've also got those outer panels, so you can cut into your card or you can cut them out of the card. And you've also got 4 sets of tri-blends. So the offer that we've got here is actually giving you 2 sets of those tri-blend pens for free. £59.98, $79.98, platinum price is £47.98 or £63.98. We're going to give you the opportunity to go make a cup of tea. Join us in a couple of moments, and here's some information about Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Tune in to Crafters TV every day to take a look at your crafty collection, make something unique or try a new technique. Join the team for 7 days of creative tutorials from ink pad inspiration and sparkle pen magic to paper pad perfection and foil press techniques. We'll show you how to make the most out of your whole crafty collection. With a new show launching every day from the 5th to the 11th of June, there are 7 opportunities to craft your stash with us. So tune in at 2 p.m. in the UK, 9 a.m. Eastern Time and 6 a.m. Pacific Time to get involved.
If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
Hello crafters, we've got some really exciting news in the works here at Crafters Companion. So I've dug out my hard hat and I've popped down to our UK warehouse to give you the lowdown. Now we do listen to you guys and we know that delivery times have been an issue for our crafty community, so we're doing something about it. The team is getting ready to set up a new and improved state-of-the-art system right here in our global distribution hub. This new picking and packing facility means we'll be able to process orders and ship them to you faster and more efficiently than ever before. This means less time waiting for parcels to arrive and more time getting stuck into your next creative project. While we get this new world-class service up and running, there'll be a few temporary changes. So here's what you need to know. Our UK warehouse will shut down for a week while the team sets up the new system. Don't worry, you can continue to shop as normal on the Crafters Companion website. You'll just wait a little longer for your orders to arrive. US crafters, listen up. We'll be able to send you guys some orders from our warehouse in California. These will be delivered as normal, so look out for this label on the site. If you're waiting for your parcel to arrive, don't worry, we'll keep you crafting. Join the Crafters TV team every day to find out how to make the most of your craft collection. With a different theme and tutorials every day, craft your stash with us to find fresh, creative inspiration in your paper pads, inks, and more. Right, that's enough from me now. I'm going to leave the guys here to get cracking. If you need any more info, head over to the Crafters Companion website and don't forget to tune in to Crafters TV. I'll see you there.
Hello everybody, welcome back. People loving the cards that you're making, Craig. Melanie says, beautiful card. Sue says, Craig created a garden in this card. And I think that's the key thing. These are so intricate. They're so beautiful with all of those different blooms. And the Helleborus, we've got a couple of different dyes with the Helleborus. Obviously, you always get roses, don't you? Roses.
Yeah.
And that Gerbera, being able to use it for sort of daisies or sunflowers, that option. But I think foxgloves, I've very rarely seen them, and I think they're so pretty. Yeah. It's a really nice collection that we've got here. Lots of people liking the idea that we start a band.
Start a band?
Yeah, Corinne says, I keep telling you there needs to be a CCTV band. My husband can accompany you on his ukulele.
He was.
Ben plays an imaginary trumpet, says Lillian. Actually, Liam was playing an imaginary trumpet when he came in earlier on, but he does say, yes, he's grade 6. So
Wow.
Question, where do we find the foam pad strips? Are they only available as part of a bundle?
Yes, they are, yes.
Okay.
So it's the bundle of the small foam pads. You've got a bundle that's stock dependent, but there's a pack that's large foam pads and one that's small foam pads. They're in the small foam pad bundle.
Lovely.
And you
Brilliant.
get a few sheets of each.
That's good to know. That's quite handy, because then you don't have to use that circular foam stuff, do you?
No, nope.
Not going to say the words. And I'm not going to...
You can do it if you want, but you won't get me singing.
Will I not? Oh, Craig.
Because it's outdated, it's boring, it's pointless, it's annoying.
Oh, my goodness. Craig's a bit grumpy. Is it because we've eaten all the Smarties?
I'm not grumpy, just when that song comes.
It's just you just
I'm
sound...
not. Have I sounded grumpy this evening until
No,
that
just that.
section?
Yeah,
that
it's just
little
that.
section. There you go.
It's just
there
that.
you go.
My mum says the same thing. Stop singing that damn song.
Yeah, right, Becky's mum.
She's fed up with that song as well. Right, back to the showstopper that we've got on the show. So Craig's going to do some more demonstrations in a moment with this collection. So we've got the 4 sets of different dyes, and we've also got the 4 packs of the tri-blends that you're getting in there. You're getting 2 of those packs for free in this price. So the platinum price is £47.98, and it's $63.98 too. Craig, what kind of demo are you going to do in a moment? Actually, you're going to use a foil press today. Are we talking about, someone said something about, is that next Friday? Right, someone's asked, are you going to wear your foil press shirt?
No.
Oh,
no.
Why not?
So I jokingly used to refuse to wear it, but now that we are in the summer, and it gets so hot in here, and the material that it is, it's just not, it's not a pretty sight.
No.
It's not a pretty sight.
No.
So yes, weather dependent, God, if it was absolutely freezing, it might come out. Chances of that happening is very, very slim. But
is that not a going out shirt for you, generally? Do you not, go down to the pub on a Saturday?
My Saturday night shirt.
Yeah.
Actually, I could wear it out in Manchester on Saturday night.
Yeah. Do you know where you're going on Saturday night?
No, he's just taken me wherever, catching up with my friend in Manchester. And many, you'll know who he is. So I'm catching up with him, and he's taken me, because I've never been in Manchester before. He knows it well. He's done tours there. He's taken me there just for the sights.
I think your shirt might work well in Manchester. I think it'll fit.
Maybe for the wrong reasons, though.
Yeah, actually, as I was saying that, I was like, actually, I can imagine where you're going to be going, because it's probably the same place as I went. Okay. On with another demo. Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh! Talk about the shirt.
Carl, you're going to have to come in, Liam.
It's going to have to come in now.
Liam, you can't walk past us like that.
Liam's got Ben's shirt on.
Look at this.
It's mine.
Well, it's his now.
No, it's actually mine.
Oh, it's actually yours.
It's actually yours.
I got a spare one.
Oh, he's got a spare one.
So I feel left out. I don't have one like that.
Oh.
That's a very beautiful shirt.
It's a very beautiful shirt.
Right.
Nice seeing Liam on a Friday night.
I know.
Both Tracy and Jake are off. John's been in all day, and then Liam's come in to Floral this evening. So that's lovely.
It is good.
Right. So we're going to focus on the launch just in this section. I just thought what we'll do is let's just take a moment. We'll have a look at the V-Blade paper trimmer, because Nicola just wanted to have a wee look about it, and apparently a few of you were like, yeah, sometimes I don't quite know where to cut and where to measure from. So just to clarify, Nicola doesn't have the Violet Studio one, but they're all around the same concept. They've got that same design as in measurements and cutting. So our Violet Studio V-Blade paper trimmer, the arm opens up. Now, what's good about the V-Blade paper trimmers is that if you're just wanting to cut sections, you can do that. You can't do it with a guillotine because a guillotine cuts all the way down.
Right.
So if you're simply wanting to create, say you want to create your own card blank here. Say I want to do my 5x7 card blank. So of course, it's going to be 7 inches in height, and then my card blank is going to be 5, and it's going to be 10 inches in width to make up for that 5x7. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in, and you've got your centimetres and your inches along the top. So keeping in mind that this needs to be 10 inches in width, so I'm going to go right up to my 10-inch mark where it says 10 inch. So I'm going to go into there, and then just hold it and butt it along the top, and then what I'm going to do is make sure my blade is at the top here, and then just pull down, lift it up, and then of course, because we want it to be 7 inches in height, just turn it around. We'll go up to the 7-inch, and then what we can do is cut. So then all that I need to do is create my own little score line. So therefore, at the halfway point, which is going to be 5 inches, so if I come up to 5 inches, and then you can take maybe just your scoring tool and just follow that channel down to create your own little seam, fold that one in, and then there's your 5x7 card blank. That's how you can create your own when it comes to the size. The other thing that you can do that I like doing with these is frames, because you can start that cut wherever you want. So not only have you got the measurements along the top, you've also got measurements down the side, and then what you've also got in the actual top handle, in between my thumbs, there's a little arrow. Now that little arrow indicates exactly where the cutting point is underneath.
Okay.
So wherever that little arrow is here, that is where directly underneath the point of the blade is.
Okay.
So if you want to do frames, so let's just cut this to, let's do it to 6x6, all the way around, so 6x6, like so. And then what I want is I want a 1-inch frame all the way around. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to come up, because I prefer working towards the right hand side, I'm going to go to that 1-inch mark, because you've got measurements on this side too. So I'm going to go up to that 1-inch mark. I'm going to close this down, but then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put a lot of pressure just yet. I'm going to pull this down until I get to the 1-inch mark. And then once I'm there, and my arrow is aligned to that 1 inch, what I'm then going to do is cut. Now, because I've done it at 6 inch, it actually makes it easier for me. All that I need to do is cut down to that 5-inch point. So if I come down till that arrow and line aligns here, lift it up, turn it round, once again, up to that 1-inch mark. I'm going to go back up. Now, where you pop your blade will be where you ended there. So again, just make sure that your line is parallel with your cut. Pull it down till you get to that 5-inch, and then lift, turn it around. And then it doesn't have to be square, of course. It could be any shape that you want to do. Make sure our line is parallel with the cut line. Bring down till we're at the 5, lift, turn, and then repeat that process again up to where, although I'm saying parallel to the cut line, you're just going back to the 1 as well. Pull down to the 5-inch point.
Oh, perfect.
And then you've created your frame.
Excellent.
So then that is your frame for whatever you're wanting to create, and that is worth its weight in gold when it comes to what you could do. Of course, if you've got nesting dies and that's great, but then you've got all of these 1/8 of an inch and everything that you can go by as well. So you've got them, and don't ever forget your actual cutting indentation. You can use that as a scoring element as well.
Excellent, that's really good. very useful. Sandra Dundas says, that's nifty, Craig. Stephanie says, I bought this cutter from you, of your recommendation, Craig, and I love it. Thanks for the tips. Really handy, because actually it's something you just happen to be using. And it was only Nicola saying, oh, actually, they've got a question. So again, any questions, let us know what you think. Lillian says she likes Liam's shirt, but she says, don't you think Back to the Fuchsia is past its best now? Fighting talk there.
See that you like?
Don't you think Let's Go Back to the Fuchsia is past its best before date now? Like the foam on the roll. You were a little disparaging about foam on the roll.
Well, no, because foam on the roll has been going a lot longer than Back to the Fuchsia. So we will get to the point that it's become a... See, I'm trying to dig out this one here. Touche.
I think what we're saying is it's time for a new pun and it's time for a new song.
Okay, I will. I'm putting it out here. I know Ben won't be watching because he's away on holiday with the family, but you can all count this as proof and evidence. I will stop Back to the Fuchsia if he stops foam on a roll.
Okay, I think he's almost stopped. Has stopped her, has he not?
No.
Has he not?
No.
But I think it's good fun. Maybe that's because I haven't been here that long. It's only been a year and a half. And actually, I only heard the Back to the Fuchsia thing about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Dean's here. Dean's second day, and Dean hasn't had the experience of the circular adhesive foam pads.
Sing it if you want. I'm not joining.
Oh no, I can't sing on my own.
Of course you
It's not
can.
X Factor. It's a shame for Dean not to hear
organise.
it, isn't it?
Having a little sing-song with foam on a roll.
Huh? Yeah,
Well, they organise that. Let's get started with this one here.
We'll sing it for you, Dean, before the end of the show.
well,
And all the
I
viewers will sing it as well.
will.
This will be like the last time. We've got a new member of staff, and he has to experience the whole foam on the roll situation. Susie says he has already stopped foam on the roll. I'm the one who eggs him on and begs to hear it. Oh, lots of people are singing. We're going to do it in a little bit. We'll do it as a little
Still
surprise.
Debbie that loves doing it.
Debbie loves doing it, yeah. I like to try and get someone to say foam on a roll in a show, but it's difficult, and I find it quite entertaining, particularly trying to get Lily to say it. Lily won't say it. It doesn't matter how many times I try and catch her out, she doesn't get caught out. New Expressions by Candy says, I've never done decoupage before. As I've been watching today, I'm trying to try it out with the decoupage pads. They are an absolutely beautiful, and I'm a great time putting them together. I love a bit of decoupage.
I love decoupage.
Yeah, it was my first thing. I did that for my GCSE art.
Did you?
Yeah, I did turrets in Russia. All around the red square. I did them as decoupage. I drew them all, and then I copied them on the school printer, photocopier, and then I decoupaged them up. And they're still okay.
Right, okay.
Still okay, however many years later. About 1 million years later. Just goes to show. Again, message us in if you've got any questions for Craig, like that one about the paper trimmer.
Perfect.
Right, next demo, please.
Right, we're going to go in with the rose now. So what I've done is I've got my pattern paper to 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I've gone in with my black layer here, which is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Now what I'm going to do, Becky, is I'm going to come in with my card blank, which is 6 by 6, which I thought. Now I am going to cut my die and the foliage die in there on its own.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut that one on its own. However, if I do that just now, what that then means is I'm not exactly sure where the right place is to create the aperture.
Right.
Because I'm not going to be able to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my apertures first. So to make sure I've got a really, really good coverage of my adhesive, you can use your double-sided adhesive sheets, or what I just like to do is I'll go in with my tacky glue, and you'll understand once I've cut out the apertures as to why I want a nice back coverage of adhesive. So we're just going to go into here, and then we can pop that one on. Because, I'll explain it now. If I just put my glue around the edge, Becky, when I come along and cut them out, I'll be left with the layers that are loose at the side, they're not
Right,
stuck
got
down.
you.
So by going over and essentially, when I say completely covering, you've seen that I've done a scribble, but still I scribbled all over the back. So this time I can then go in with my 2 dies, and then I'm going to go with my low-tack tape. And we all know the low-tack tape is phenomenal, but it really does stick with the pressure of the Gemini. So therefore, I'm going to tape the dies on the inside, because that will essentially be waste. Of course, I'll try and take the tape off carefully so that I can still use these panels. But let's go into here and then into here. So for then this one, we're just going to go in with our plate. So it's still our normal plate configuration. So what we can then do is frosted, magnetic, and then the top plate. So we're just going to then feed that one into our Gemini. So that's then going to create and cut those frames. And because, of course, we've gone edge to edge with the adhesive, when the frame's cut out, those inner edges, they're going to be stuck down. So if I take this one out now, and then pop that out, and then pop that one out, all these inner bits, so the pattern paper and the black layer stuck together, and it's
Yeah.
not opening up.
Okay.
And the same for that panel there.
Right.
So now, because I've done my panels first, what I can now do, Becky, is I can go in and I can position that where I want. And what I'm just going to do, in actual fact, I don't even need low-tack tape, just to temporary pop that in. I can then get that where I want, and then I now can get that in the correct position. Let me just turn my die the right way.
See what you've done. Yeah, that makes sense.
So see what I mean. So actually, I have one pre-cut. So say that I've cut this.
Yeah.
Say that I've not cut these. Okay. So if I was to lay that over, let's just, it's visually better if I take the dies out. So let's just say, for argument's sake, I've not stuck, or I've not die cut these panels here. Let's bring this one in, just roughly stick that in. So if I cut them first, I put that over the top, I don't know where my exact position is to get that right framework. So do it the other way around.
Yeah.
If you do it the other way around, then you're going to be safe in the knowledge to know that they're in that correct position. So let's just take that one out because I need that frame. So once again, let's just put that in as essentially we're using it as a template. So take our low-tack tape, bring our die in, making sure it's the right way up this time. And we can just go in, and then we're going to then pop here. Is that why, Nicola, I can hear George in the background singing Foam on a Roll? Is that different? We're going to take that down. I can hear, just in case you're wondering at home what I mean, I can hear George just in the background singing a little bit. Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you. I heard you say that too. So let's go in. So we've got that one. And then now, because I've got that one in the right place, we're going to go in with that one. And then hold that in. Lift that one up, out of position. Tape it in. And then I now know my decorative dies are in the right place, my framework's in the right place, so when I come to mat and layer that frame together, all going to be perfect framework.
That tip is so invaluable because I would have put that on, and I would have just got into a mess without having that idea. No, it makes perfect sense when you say
doing it that way, yeah. And you always think, if you do something along that line, you do always automatically think about die cutting the decorative die first. And there's many times I do it, and there'll be many times that I still do it. But it's just remember, if you do the outline die first, and that goes for kind of any aperture or any creator card that you're cutting in and you want that outer frame, do the decorated die cut first, and then you're going to get that perfect frame. So what I can then do is take this off. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this off just so that I can take all of these bits out, and I'm just going to set it to the side because we're still going to use it. So I'm then going to come in, take that one out. So I've used both the dies from this rose set here, and then take these bits out too. So what I can then do is, with this one here, I'm going to keep the die off, and then let's go in with our grasshopper. And this is our water reactive. So I'm going to go in, and then I'm just going to take my water reactive. You could use your little blending tool, but because of the size of this, I find it a lot easier just to use your finger dauber, or if you've got something like some of those larger cotton buds or that you get while we're waiting on the finger daubers coming back in, something along those lines, or stencil brushes or anything like that. So we're just going to go and dab that ink on, like so this one. And I'm not doing blending, shading, nothing whatsoever. I just want that pure grasshopper down over the leaves. As we were talking about before, you could emboss the detail too. You've got the benefit of having both. Just go to the edge. If you want to go right up the edge, you can mask it off and then create a nice little border. But I'm going to leave it like that. And then what I'm going to do with this one, let's go back in with the grasshopper, and I'm going to, I wonder actually if you could also use, let's see how this would, I'm just trying to think for smaller detail, if you don't have anything such as finger daubers, I wonder if you could
Could you use like a cotton bud?
Yeah, you could do, yeah, absolutely. I'm just wondering if this would work as kind of like a stippled stencil effect. Obviously, you've not got that. I wonder what you could... This is mine, by the way, so in case you wonder what I'm just going to do.
Craig, what are you doing?
So if I cut that straight on...
It feels so sad. It's
keep
like
it straight. Oh, I've got...
It's like that Ant and Dec show, Beat the Barber. Do you remember that?
Oh, right enough.
I'm really obsessed with that. So you don't remember on the television that they used to have, it was a kids' TV show, it was a segment of kids, no, I think it was a whole kids' TV show, and if there was like questions, they were battling against Ant and Dec, and if they didn't win, I don't remember what channel it was on, but if they didn't win, they had their head shaved. And there was a massive outcry because there was a girl, I mean, the children all signed up to it. There was a girl who was about 12, and she had waist-length red hair, and they shaved all her hair off.
That is mental.
She didn't win. And I think if you did win, you won, you won like a games console and loads of other bits and pieces, so things that the kids would really want to do. But yeah, it wasn't on for very long, because I think after that I had quite a lot of complaints.
Not surprised.
Yeah, but it's cutting paintbrushes makes me feel a little bit like that someone's cut my hair off.
And do you know something? It's working. It's working. In case you wonder what one that I used, it was the size number 6 that I've used here. But it has worked.
That's really worked, yeah.
Ideally, I would use my finger daubers. Now, of course, I've got mine here. But if you don't, and you've got small areas, and you've got a load of paintbrushes left over, and you don't want to invest in any stipple brushes or stencil brushes, you can do that. Like I say, just to clarify, this is my own one. So then we're able to go into that detail.
And that's the same colour on both sides?
It is, however, that's gone in even a little bit darker at the top there, because I've obviously had some dark, purple or fuchsia or something on there. I don't mind that actually, because that works with the foliage. So what we can do again, seeing as I've done that, and instead of using the finger dauber like I was going to, let's slot that back in, and then on the roses' heads, let's go in again, and then that. Oh my gosh, I love this idea.
Well, it's really good because, aren't there times when you go and craft somewhere on a retreat or something like that, and you haven't remembered everything? You might not have remembered your finger daubers. You might not have any. You might be waiting for your order to come in, or you've only just ordered some now. But you probably do have a paintbrush somewhere that you don't mind sort of cutting the end off.
Yeah.
And you know, and again, it's a different technique that we can all use, isn't it?
It is. It really, really is. And then it works. And then by doing it this way, you're kind of getting into even the finer details that maybe the finger dauber wouldn't. So let's go into there and then lift up. We'll love that.
Oh, that looks lovely, Craig.
Love that. So then what we can do is then we're going to come in with our frame. So we're going to add that on with our tape runner. So we're just going to go round the edges. And because we've framed it up nicely after we've die cut, we can then die cut the panels. That's going to sit and mat and layer just beautifully into here. And then what I've already done in black cardstock, I've ran the 2 dies through again, but with the outside die as well. So that's separated them, that's taken it out of my cardstock. And then I'm going to come in, so I'm going to turn that one over. I'm going to go in with my dotty tape runner, and I'm just going to go over that back detail. I'm going to do the foliage one first, and I'm only going over that center, inner center of the die cut. I'm going to pop that on into there. I'm just going to put, if you struggle by doing what I'm away to do with a drop shadow, essentially it's like a reverse drop shadow, I'm just going to put that in, and then I'm just going to pull down like I usually do to the bottom right hand corner to create that black drop shadow. Press that on, fill that in. I'm then going to do the same with the roses. Let's pop that one on into here. Let's pop our dotty tape into here, lift it up, pop it in, do a drop shadow of the black. Once it's into position, I'm just going to then press that one in, and then so that we've got kind of a mat and layer that all ties together. I've already done my white and black mat and layer, and then you could stamp your insert, or you know, you could print one, or you can make one. That's then going to go into there. Of course, you'd make sure you've not got your inky mat. Close that one in. Let's go in with our sentiment, which is saying have a beautiful day. That one can then go into here. So I'm going to go into there, but I don't necessarily, of course, want my foam pads all the way over that die cut aperture part, just in case it sticks to the back layer. So let's just put a little bit there because it's going to sit onto the rose here. And then just to finish off, let's go in with our tacky glue, and I'm going to do 1 dot, 2 dots, 1 dot, 2 dots. I should have done 3 dots. There, there, and there. I've got some little black gems in front of me, so let's pick one up. So I've dipped my pokey tool in a bit of that glue, and then using it to pick up my gems that are just in front of me, because the ones I'm using aren't self-adhesive. Turn that one round, pick that one up into there, pick that one up into here, and then last but by no means least, let's bring our last one in, pick that one up into there, and then there we go. Little 6x6 card, but we've cut in, we've created a framework, we've done a drop shadow, we've inked over the top, we've essentially stenciled over the top as well, and then it's a nice way just to show you how to create the aperture frame.
That is gorgeous. I love the colours in that, really, really fresh, absolutely
Work well,
beautiful. Yeah, lots of people saying you always make drop shadows look really easy. So that's what Anne says. I find I struggle, and Susie says she struggles as well. Is it just a question of a little bit of, just experience, just time?
What I would say is if you do struggle, you do what I done there. So that initial layer that's going to be your drop shadow, like that black one, just tape it down. Tape it down or secure it just lightly, just so it's not moving about. And then what I do is when I go to put my top layer over the top, I hover right over the top. So make sure you're looking down, and I hover right over the top, essentially so you're not seeing any drop shadow. And then I always just pull down to the bottom right-hand corner, just a couple of millimeters, just for that drop shadow to appear. And then that's when I commit to the stick.
Right. Okay. Great, that's really, and everyone's saying what a beautiful card. Lois says very pretty card. Patsy, what a beautiful card. Lillian Quox asked where the spotty paper is from.
Where's my notes here? That's come from the Rose, that was the Rose, what did I write down? Pretty Peony, the Pretty Peony 12 by 12.
Lovely, that's great. And Sue Benson says, my hubby bought me a bunch of tiny detail brushes for the model railroad shop. When you just need a dot, they're absolutely perfect. So again, using what you happen to have, really handy. Any tips and things like that, share them. I always like to know a little bit of a tip. Everyone absolutely loving their, very pretty, and they really like all those little tips you've given us with that. So these are our Floral Panel Creator Card Showstopper. These are sets of 4 different dies with your, they've got the outer dies as well as 2 sort of different panel dies. You've got Rose Hellebor's, Foxglove and Gerberas, as well as those 4 sets of tri-blends as well. Really great price on there. We're going to go for a quick break. We'll see you in a couple of moments. I'm going to drink my cup of tea. I suggest you go and have a cup of tea too.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right? Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly how he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Introducing the Gemini 2. Our brand new electronic die cutting and embossing machine has all the power and precision of the original Gemini, but with updated functions and innovative new features. Faster and quieter than ever before, the Gemini 2 does all the hard work for you. Cut out the most intricate designs in seconds, and all at the touch of a button. Technology to apply higher pressure than many other machines offers perfectly crisp and clear results every time. The Gemini 2 has the power to take creative projects of all shapes and sizes in its stride. It will cut through a range of materials, from card and paper to cork, thin metal, leather, and multiple layers of fabric. So you can save time on your papercraft, sewing, and multimedia projects. A new and improved optical sensor runs the full length of its 9-inch platform, offering edge-to-edge precision with cutting plates of any size. Pause, rewind, and resume functions take the guesswork out of crafting. Smooth gliding feet make light work of moving and maneuvering your Gemini 2. And a turntable offers 360 degrees of crafting freedom. Neat storage compartments hold craft tools so they're always at your fingertips right when you need them. A built-in media stand and 3 USB charging points invite you to craft along with your favourite tutorials and workshops on your tablet or phone. Easy to use and with everything you need to get started right out of the box, the Gemini 2 is for beginners and experienced makers alike. From scrapbooking and home decor to handmade cards, quilting and everything in between, bring your creativity to life with the Gemini 2.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the product.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So many compliments about that last demo you did. Betty Provendenti says, Craig is amazing. I love watching him. He is my inspiration.
Aww.
Isn't that nice?
Betty, was it?
That's Betty, yeah.
Betty, that's really lovely of you. Thank you.
Always nice. It's always nice to hear that you do inspire people. Of course you do. But it's always nice to hear it, isn't it, that people are enjoying what they're seeing.
It is. It's always nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
Lots of people saying really fresh card, lovely card, beautiful card, really, really nice. Tracy says, Becky, the whole day I've been admiring your measuring tape bracelet. Did you make it? It's so unique and I love it. I didn't actually make it. It was made by a lady called Jane Hines, who has a company called Boodler. It's actually on my social media, and it's actually true to size. So I do find that if I go somewhere and I need to measure something, I can just do it on my bracelet,
brilliant.
Which is really quite handy. And it's all hand stitched. It's needlepoint. I couldn't do it as tiny. My eyesight's not that good, but yes, thank you very much. Glad you liked it. We're going to have another demo.
We're going
to do another demo.
We're going to go in, we're going to make a box this time.
Oh, lovely.
We're going to cut into the box. We're going to use the Helleborus?
Yeah.
Helleborus?
Yeah.
I used to call it hellebores or hellebores, but Helleborus.
So hellebore is one, Helleborus is the family name,
The family of them. So you could use the family of them, but I'm just going to use the one for this one. And then actually, it's a good way to cover what I'd done before about that framework. Essentially, we're going to do the same as well within this one. So what I've already started to do is create a large box. So I've got my cardstock and I have cut it to 9 by 11 inches. And then on the box lid side of the scoreboard, I've scored at 2 inches all the way round, and then I've created my tabs. I've done exactly the same for the base side of the box, and then what I've done already started to is just put mats and layers for the inside just to speed that little bit up. And then for the base, I'm having it so, because this is Centura Pearl, this is the Centura Pearl is going to be on the outside of the box base, but for my actual box lid, because we're going to have a lot of pattern paper, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go in and use the white side of the card. And the reason that I've not put these side mats and layers in just yet is because if I'd done it now and then went to put these tabs in, I'm then just going to cover up some of the brown cards. So that's why I've not done that bit yet. So we can just go in and do the base first, so it's already done. So let's just press that one in. I've already got my layers here, so then all that I'm just going to do is I'll do it face on because it's easier for you to see. We're just going to go in and I'm just going to mat and layer them ones in, I'm just going to lightly press them in so that I get them straight. Press that one in, turning it around, and I'm going to do the same on the opposite side here. So I'm just going to visually line that one up. Of course, if you find it easier with using your all-purpose or tacky, you can do. But there is the inside of my box, all good to go. So let's move that to the side, and then we're going to bring in our box lid that I've already started to do. And then what I've got here is I've got my pattern paper and I've got my craft card. So with my pattern paper, I've chosen it from the Wildflower, and it is 4.5 by 6.5, and I've already matte and layered it onto a piece of craft card that's 1/4 inch bigger. So that will go on the top. So let's go in with my frame die, and I'm going to come to the left a little bit, and then we can secure that one down. So let's take our tape. So that's going to go into the left, and then let's tape that on the inner part of the die. We can then bring in our plate, so flip and rotate them. Bring in our other ones. So we're going to go in with our frosted and magnetic. Let's turn it that way to stop it banana in a bit. Run that one through. So as that one then runs through, that's going to create that framework, of course, from our actual outer die. And then what we can do as well is we can then come in, overlay that on the box lid, and then we can get the perfect position for the die cut. So let's pop that one out, bring that one in, overlay that in, and then I now know where the perfect position. It down, move it out the way, and just lightly tape it so it's not too much onto your card. Bring that one in, flip and rotate, lift that one up, and as you can see, it just goes through your Gemini. Line up, feed that one in, run that one through. So we've got that one in that position. We're going to do a little bit of inking again. We're going to use we'll go back to the grasshopper again, and I'm actually going to use a little bit of lavender ice, which came from the Frosty and Bright Christmas collection. So let's move that one out. And then what I'm going to do this time, because we're going to ink the flowers, but what I'm going to do is I've shown you one way in that last demonstration where you can then kind of ink where you want. Let's take that off there and take that off there. I want to get most of that, if not all that tape off, to make it easier to ink. Let's take, I can just get a grip of it, take that one off. Let's pull, there we go, take that, and then that one. And then what I'm going to do, let's just see, is my notes, but I think that might be a little bit still pinky. So let's go in, I'm just going to make sure that doesn't move. Let's go in with our little finger dauber. Because what I've done with my paintbrush, I don't want to do that with all of them. I only want to do it on a select few. So let's take, I'm just trying to clean off a finger dauber that I've got here. Even that might still be dirty. Oh, let's use what God gave us.
We've got so many finger daubers over there, but I always think, when you pick up any kind of blender, you think, oh God, I don't know who's used this. I don't know what colour they've used on there.
Exactly,
You know, it's very difficult to tell because they're just in a big bowl.
That are.
Really, they're quite a difficult thing to store, aren't they?
So
Keep them all separate, or do you keep them all separate?
So when it comes to my water reactive ones, what I do, Becky, is I have a foam pad square for each one.
Yeah.
So what I do is I've got some hook and loop at home.
Yeah.
So I put the rough hook and loop and I stick it onto there. It's just like a circle or a square. And then the foam of that just sticks underneath. And then they still all just sit in my trays.
Yeah.
So I've got I must have about 8 of these, but every one of my water reactive has a foam on there. So I've got the same one for each one. So that's what I do when it comes to water reactive.
Another handy tip.
I don't, obviously, you don't really need them for your quick dry, so I don't really worry. I've started to do it with the pigment, but only as and when I use them, because I don't really use the blending tools a lot for the pigment ink pads. But yeah, that's what I do. And I've done it with the shimmer, and I've started to do it with the duet as well, as I'm using them. Just means when you come to use yours, you're always using the right shade for the right ink pad.
There's nothing more frustrating, is there, where you grab something, you start using it, and it's got like a big dollop of greeny muck, and you're trying to use a pink thing, and it's very difficult, very annoying.
It can be
for such a small thing. But that idea about sort of storing them underneath is a great one. Never thought about that.
It's handy. It's really, really handy. And then to take that one up,
beautiful.
We've got all that depth coming not only in the emboss but then through the ink as well. And then what we can do is let's go in with let's use that little finger dauber again for the green, and then picking it up, and then I'm just lightly going in, and I'm purposely doing it lightly and roughly when it comes to the foliage. I don't want it to be too perfect. Can if you want, but I'm not really wanting that effect. I'm wanting it more that rough and ready because I'm using the craft card. So let's go into there. And then that is essentially, that's kind of all the colouring that I'm going to do. All that I want to do before I assemble it, Becky, I want to create just a little bit extra structure within that die cut panel. So if I flip it over, and then what I've got here is just a piece of acetate. And I've already put my red liner tape on the back and peeled that off. So I'm just going to go and overlay that one on and then press it in. And then that's just going to give this area here, certainly where you've got those really small die cut lines, that little bit extra rigidity when it comes to the balance of the lid. And then turn that back. And then what we can do is I'm just going to overlay that together and then start to build the box with my tape runner.
I'm liking this. I do love a box, but I want it filled with chocolate and diamonds.
You could have it with whatever you want in there.
Yeah, both.
Could be, it could be both.
Because if I just say chocolate and someone was planning on filling it with diamonds, I'm missing out.
You are.
And I just want to hedge my bets, Maybe someone's going to say to me, oh, I was going to fill it with diamonds for you, but, here's a packet of minstrels instead. Not quite the same. But, yeah, diamonds and chocolate.
Diamonds and chocolates.
Well, if I get them modelled up and put a diamond in my mouth by mistake, I don't mean loose chocolate. Packets I don't want to lose chocolate.
You don't want to lose, no, that's silly, Craig.
Yeah,
don't be silly. You don't want to lose chocolate.
And then I'm not going to mistakenly eat a diamond. It's just not going to happen.
But you know what you could do is if you make this box shallower, because obviously I've done it at 2 inches in depth. If you make it shallower, what about like packs of seeds and a nice little gift to someone that loves their garden?
Yeah.
Or little notelets.
Those are quite nice, having the packets of seeds at weddings as a little gift. Making not instead of confetti, but as a gift, to take home. So I
like that idea.
Spread some wildflowers, and then then you're remembering the bride and groom at the wedding and things like that. I think that's quite a nice idea.
As they grow over the years,
yeah.
It's like, that's the seeds that we've got at either our wedding or so-and-so's wedding.
And if it's people you don't like, it could be seeds for conifer, because they. Or a sycamore, because sycamores are viewed as sycamore trees are viewed as weeds, aren't they? Almost because they grow so prolifically. I was in my garden the other day, and we've got these blue flowers at the side of the garden. And I said to my husband, "You do realise that they're weeds?" And he went, "Are they?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "They're supposed to be taken up." He was doing a bit of gardening, and he was like, "I thought they looked quite pretty," and they do, but they are weeds.
They are weeds,
He's the kind of person that goes, "Well, those dandelions look quite nice. We'll keep those there." Do you know, I would love my garden to be pristine, and I think a garden shouldn't have any soil. You shouldn't see any soil. It should just be filled with flowers. But and that's what my parents' garden used to be like. But they used to spend all their time in the garden, and now I realise quite how much money they must have spent on plants because they're expensive.
It's not cheap, is it?
Yeah, and I'm not at home regularly enough to be able to look after the garden. So my garden is not the way I want it to be. I'd like it to be better, but I don't have the luxury of having a gardener.
No.
Wouldn't it be nice to have somebody that looked after your garden and your house, everything would be pristine, but the reality is it's not.
I would love to be really green-fingered and, you know, pot the plants and all of that, but I'm not. When I'm in the garden, even if it's just something as little as cutting the grass or tidying up, I enjoy being in the garden. I suppose it's like anything, I just need to learn.
Yeah.
I just need to get some little basic essentials, some of the compost, good compost, little pots, something that's easy to grow, and then just start that way.
Yeah.
But I would like to.
My birthday, she normally does pots for me. So that'll be my present. And she will buy some flowers, and she'll put all the flowers in the pots for me. Does she make the pots? No, she doesn't.
No.
No.
But then you could take your...
She did do pottery at one point. Yeah, my mum's done a little bit of everything. But just pots. Just pots.
You could take your acrylic pens and then start to decorate them. You know, Spectrum Noir acrylic pens.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my goodness, how are you going to choose a demo of the show?
A deep box, 2-inch deep box, just using one of the panel dies. Of course, you could use the two of them that complement each other or mix and match, but it's just another way in which you can use them.
Lovely, really, really like that. Would you be able to get your demos together as we can do a vote? Anne from Twin Cities says, what if they're chocolate-covered diamonds? I could suck the chocolate off there, couldn't I?
You could, yeah.
And I probably would. Kathy Kerr says, I gave up tree seedlings at my wedding 27 years ago. Some of the trees people have are now quite big. That's a lovely idea, because they do say that trees are, you plant them for the next generation, but I think that's really nice. Laura says, my sister and brother-in-law gave up pine tree saplings as wedding favours. That was 31 years ago. I wonder how many survived. June says, my landscaper hubby is my gardener, so I'm very lucky. You are lucky, because maybe I should just change and get a new husband, I don't know. Lois says, that is a beautiful box. Thank you, Craig. Everyone loving that.
You're very welcome.
It's going to be very difficult for you to choose to vote on your demo of this show, but I'm going to pass you over to Craig, and Craig is going to show you all those beautiful makes you've done.
There we go. So we've got 4 to choose from. So you've got number 1, you've got number 2, you've got number 3, or you've got number 4. So 1, 2, 3, or 4 to choose from. It's up to you.
Fantastic. Please get your votes in quickly, because we've got vote of the day to do.
I think Liam's going for 1.
Really? Oh, you see, I'm going for 3. There you go. We don't want to sway the vote anyway, do we? But they are all beautiful, very, very, very nice. Now, if you've been inspired and you want to get starting making some beautiful cards, we've got a few things that you may be interested in. The first item we've got are our garden gnome and 12 by 12 by 12 paper pad. You've got 36 sheets in here, some very gnomey, like the ones with the mushrooms on, but a lot of them very, very beautiful, useful for all sorts of different sort of birthdays and springtime cards. Price for this is £13.49 or $17.99 with a 10% saving. Your platinum price is £10.79 or $14.39. The next item we've got is your luxury mirror card. Again, this is a 12 by 12 paper pad. It is £31.49 or $35.95. You've got all those really beautiful foiled patterns in there. Platinum price is £25.19 or $28.76. We also have a luxury mirror card 12 by 12 that is in the metallics. So you've got the gold and the silver in there. Obviously we would think gold and silver is going to be more sort of Christmas time, wintry time, but actually some very pretty designs in there, including hearts and sort of harlequins and that kind of thing. £31.49 or $35.95. It's a set 10% saving, but you'll save even more if you're platinum, got the platinum price, and that is £25.19 or $28.76. Again, great deals. We had lots of deals earlier on the show. We've got all that information on the website there. We're waiting for the answer for demo of the show, but Lillian Kwok says, I just saw Ferrero Rocher luxury ice cream earlier. So earlier on we were talking about the world record for the most amount, sorry, it wasn't the most amount, it was 15 Ferrero Rochers eaten in the quickest time, and I think it was 2.5 minutes, something like that. Now I think this weekend I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to see if I can break that. Yeah, but I think that's one we can't do, because if we use the white chocolate one that's got coconut, and I always think coconut takes a lot more chewing. We might have to try it. Yeah, we might have to try that out. But thank you, Lillian. I'll have to look that out. That sounds absolutely delicious. Lillian is in London. London, like me. London. Where was it, Lillian? Was it in a supermarket? Because we might have, because Nicola's coming to stay with me, and we're going out and we're going for afternoon tea, and we're going to art galleries. We're going to be ladies walk lunch.
Nice.
Oh, right. I've got an answer for demo of the show.
Oh, have you?
Craig, which one did you think was going to win?
Oh, 2 or 3.
2 or 3?
2 or 3, yeah.
Okay. I think we've all said all of the ones, but it's Liam who's right. It's number one. Number one.
See, it goes to show when you really just pull it back in, you go simple, you create your own backdrop with a colour, and then go in with that silhouette effect as well.
Yeah,
really effective.
And very different to all those other ones that you've done there.
Very, yeah.
Right, we do need to do demo of the day,
you.
and this is I'm coming over here to grab these ones. So there's no one in shot now. Yeah, no. It's interesting because it's between Craig, me, and Craig and me.
Yeah.
So either way, no, not either way, because I'll say either way we're going to win. I won't win if Craig wins. But the first one is the card that I made here on Wake Up Call. The second one is made by Craig and myself. We did some heart bunting in softer side. Craig did some amazing sewing on that. And then the final one is Craig's card for launch day. So do let us know which is going to be your winning item. Look at this, look at this, look at this. I really enjoyed doing that sewing with you, Craig. I thought that was great. It was something a little bit different. Oh, Lillian says Sainsbury's on the sticks near the Magnums. Claire says, Becky, living in Hawaii, we consider the morning glory a weed. However, in other states, the morning glory is a welcome flower. One year, my husband pulled up all of his mum's morning glory vines whilst visiting in Georgia. Oh, she would have been quite annoyed with that, wouldn't she? And I think love in the mist as well is viewed as being a weed some places, but I grow them in my garden. I say grow them in my garden. I've thrown some seeds on the ground.
Just throw them. Create a little wildflower escape.
I think wherever you are, if the flowers are pretty, it doesn't matter whether they're weeds or not.
I would agree with you on that one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if it's pretty, then...
Yeah. I mean, a little while ago I was working at Kew Gardens, and there were very often times we'd have parts of the lawn which were filled with daisies and dandelions because it's good for the wildlife, and it still looks pretty, even though, a gardener, a formal gardener would think, oh my goodness, of course we have those. Yes, exactly.
No, you wouldn't see, what's his name, Alan Titchmarsh keeping the weeds in there, would you?
No, you wouldn't at all. Do get your votes in. Craig, you're not here tomorrow because you're going out to see Coronation Street.
I am. Yeah, I'm going to hit the street. I'm going to Coronation Street tomorrow. Spend a good couple of hours there, having a tour of the street and having a tour of the sets. And so those that do enjoy Coronation Street, I'll take some photos and send them. And then staying over. So out in the town on Manchester.
Excellent.
And then I am in on Monday, but I'm actually filming the next videos for the template library with Liam. If you're in the craft club, I'm also going to be filming the next one of that. And then I am in on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yes, I'm in on Tuesday because on Wednesday, I'm going through to Sheffield to watch one of the episodes of the new Gladiators being filmed in Sheffield Arena. Yep. Yes.
That'd be quite special. I could enjoy that.
Wednesday night.
Fantastic. Oh, that sounds really good.
Can't wait.
And we've had quite a lot of interaction this week because we were on Hobby Maker and Sewing Street together on Tuesday, and then we probably won't see each other for months
Probably
now.
not. And I'm gutted for that because I love working with you.
Oh,
We'll have
it's
a
been
laugh.
great.
You take my banter, I take your banter, and we just bounce off each other.
And Craig, I'm just giving you a little bit of a secret. I've got a little surprise for you coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm just saying it like that. Who knows what that might be? It might be something to do with your birthday. Right, demo of the day. It's not, it's number one.
Yes!
Wow, thank you so much. Wow.
Well deserved.
Well, that's really, I'm really excited about that. So, yeah, I've got
well
one
deserved,
up there.
Becky.
Doesn't often happen, to be honest. Thank you very much. Really enjoyed using these. I think they're a beautiful item to have. Anyone that gets hold of these, you're definitely onto a winner with those. So many different things. And you showed us so many different samples of the different types of things we could do with them. They really are a great item. I'm not here now for, well, some time.
Are you not?
No. Can't work out when I'm going to be back. It's a while. I've got a nice weekend at home, but filled with family dues. I've got cousins. I'll be back on the 23rd of June.
23rd.
So,
I'm in that day.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, they're not keeping us apart then.
No.
Are you working on your birthday on the 21st?
No, I'm off on my birthday. Yeah,
So
off this year.
I'm doing Sewing Street on my birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did offer at work.
Yeah.
I did offer at work, but.
Never mind.
No.
Never mind. But we can all celebrate our birthdays when we're back in on the 23rd.
Definitely.
We'll get a cake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get some
I'll get
Smarties.
Christina to make us a cake.
Nice.
Yeah. Great. Excellent. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the show. Now, tomorrow you've got Corinne and you've got Michelle all weekend, actually. So plenty of deals for you and plenty of inspiration that you'll be getting on there. I did see Michelle earlier today, and she's very glittery. She looked like she was going to a disco. So that gives you a little bit of a hint as to what you'll be seeing on tomorrow's show. So I do hope you've enjoyed watching us. We've really enjoyed you. Do keep in touch. Let us know how you're getting on, if you're going to be replicating some of Craig's demos or indeed some of mine. Do send us some photographs and pop them on social media, because we always love to see what you make. But thanks very much. Have a lovely weekend, and we will see you all very soon.
Toodles.